What's up, everybody? This is the Sports League podcast, back for another week. I'm your host, Alex Leak, and we got Hue Jackson, longtime college and NFL coach. Good to have you back on, Hugh.
Hey, glad to be back on. Looking forward to it. Missed you last week.
Yeah,
Looking forward to getting back to it.
yeah. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving and enjoyed all the football of last weekend.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So let's get into this week, and it started off last night. Packers at Lions, a big game. In the NFC North, Lions on a 10-game winning streak. Packers coming in on a 3-game winning streak. Some injuries for both teams on both sides of the ball. Lions jump out to a 17-7 lead. Packers rally. They're up 28-24 late, but the Lions win 34-31 on a game-winning field goal as time expired. And Hugh, the biggest thing that jumped out at me, the Lions 4 out of 5 on fourth down. And how about the balls that it took to go for fourth down there at the end? Only 43 seconds left. I think conventional wisdom would say kick the field goal, take the lead, and then trust your defense. Dan Campbell didn't do that. He said, we want to end it on offense. Pretty crazy decision there, huh?
No, well, we've seen him do that before. So,
Yeah.
that's just kind of who he is. His team believes in him and what he's trying to do. My biggest question is when the quarterback started back and his knee hit,
Yeah.
should that have been ruled down?
Oh, I'd have to
That's the
look at
biggest
that.
question I have,
Yeah.
just because his knee hit the ground, so are
Yeah.
you declaring yourself down?
Yeah.
Even though he was facing away from the line of scrimmage, I think that's the big question I have because then that would have been, they wouldn't have made the field goal. They would have been a fourth down. The ball would have went to Green Bay, and who knows how the game would have ended.
Yeah. And it was crazy because, I mean, he slips or falls and it easily could have fumbled the handoff.
Yes,
It could have been stopped. And we would be second guessing Dan Campbell like crazy had that been stopped. And the
yes.
game is still tied. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes,
So,
no doubt. I mean, everybody would have been all over him. It would have been shades of the AFC of the NFC championship game from last year.
yeah. And we've seen that a lot lately. I hate to pick on Antonio Pierce, but interesting situational stuff at the end of that Raiders Chiefs game. My Bears, that's what got Matt Eberflus fired. He refused to take a timeout with 32 seconds. Some interesting coaching decisions going on this last week.
Oh yeah, I just think the pressure of the moment,
Yeah,
and again, some coaches have people that are talking to them. Some coaches feel like they can handle it. They don't want a lot of noise in their ear. But those situations you just mentioned, in key moments, it could cost your team a win, and
yeah.
cost your team a chance to win a game. That might mean make the difference of making the playoffs or getting a victory or draft position, whatever all that is. I just think it's so important to make sure you're on top of the game management piece of it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's getting to that point of the year where everything's getting magnified and jobs are on the line. So it's gonna be fun to follow along. The Lions win a franchise record 11th straight game. They're got to be the favorites along with the Eagles in the NFC to go to the Super Bowl. Do you think the Lions can get there? Philly is looking really good as well.
No, no doubt. I mean, Philly is probably the most talented team in all
Yeah,
the National Football League, and
yeah,
they're starting to play extremely well. I think once they got Vic's Fangio system in place and the new
yeah,
offensive coordinator system in place, I think they're playing really good football. But they have some very, very talented players.
yeah.
But the Lions, man, they have done it all year.
Mm-hmm.
You just said earlier there were some injuries heading into the game, some injuries during the game, and they were able to
Yeah.
overcome that. So they show you their grit, their resilience, their ability to overcome things. So it's going to be a heck of a game if both of those teams make it to the AFC Championship game.
Absolutely. A lot of talk about the Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson getting a head coaching opportunity. My Bears fans are all over social media saying they want to hire Ben Johnson. I want. I said this week, I was like, Ben Johnson. He'd be a first time head coach,
Hmm.
and we've had that. We went from Nagy to Eberflus. I want a proven winner like Mike Vrabel or Bill Belichick, and I would love Bill Belichick in Chicago. He just interviewed for North Carolina. How do you see the head coaching stuff working out? Do you think Bill Belichick can go to college and be successful?
Yeah, I do because I think the college game is becoming like the infrastructure is becoming like the NFL game.
Mm-hmm.
So he could, obviously he would have to surround himself with a bunch of guys who've been in college who understands the college landscape. But I think he's very bright, very smart, and he'll adjust if he needs to. And they're paying a lot of money,
Yeah.
But you said something I think is so important. You want a proven winner to go to the Bears. I keep telling people that there's nothing like the experience, right?
Exactly.
So you look over in the AFC, you know, North, all those coaches they've been their season. They've played a lot of games, Super Bowls, all that. You look over in the AFC West, and so there's three really good coaches, and Antonio's trying to find his way, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to be in that situation. Harbaugh comes right in and boom, everything takes off because he's been there before. So I
Yeah.
understand where you're coming from. I get it, but there's going to be somebody that takes a chance on a young, talented offensive coach, and you want to
Yeah.
pair your quarterback with somebody who knows how to get him ready to play and who can keep him trending forward. So I think that's a really important decision to make
Oh
because the
yeah.
Lions head coach is proven now. The Packers head coach is proven now. The
Vikings
Vikings
too.
head coach is
Oh yeah.
proven now. And so you got to make sure you go hire the right guy.
Absolutely, and for Caleb Williams' future as well. So it's
Hmm.
a huge decision coming up for my Bears. Um, so let's get to our picks. Let's get to Sunday. Amanda's running away with the picks. I don't. I mean, she went 13-1 last week. Hugh, how are we supposed to catch that?
Hey, she is something now. She's on
Yeah.
top of it.
So let's see if we can gain some ground this week. 3-9 Jets at the 5-7 Dolphins. New York on a losing streak, and their season's pretty much over. You're gonna see guys starting to sit out the rest of the year and stuff like that. The Dolphins are still in it. They're hanging by a thread, but if they can win out, they got a shot. Do you think
Hmm.
the Dolphins take care of business here in Miami?
I do. I think
Yeah,
the Jets, like you said, I think they're playing for their jobs, obviously, but at the same time, they understand nobody wants to go in the offseason injured.
yeah.
So it's going to be important what that looks like. But I think Miami will have a little bit more fight because they are still playing for something.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I got the Dolphins at home. That shouldn't be, too hard of a game for them there. But it is division rivalry, so you never know.
Hmm.
6-6 Falcons at the 10-2 Vikings. This is a great matchup. Atlanta, who started out hot, they were 6-3. Now they're on a three-game losing streak. Kirk Cousins coming off his worst performance as a Falcon with four interceptions. Meanwhile, the Vikings are on a five-game winning streak. Big game. How do you see this one going? I don't expect Kirk Cousins to play bad two games in a row, especially against his old team.
No, I don't either. But I just think, head back to Minnesota, those guys understand the race that they're in,
Yeah.
within their conference with Green Bay and with Detroit. Minnesota needs to keep winning to stay afloat,
Hmm.
so I think they're going to take care of business at home.
I agree. The Vikings should win this one and are favored, especially with Atlanta on this losing streak. I'm going to go out on a limb, bold take. I think the Falcons pull this one off. The Vikings haven't super impressed me this year. I don't know how they're 10-2. I mean, it's great coaching. That's what it
Hmm.
is.
Oh,
But
yeah.
they're Yeah. And I think Atlanta bounces back. I'm going to trust Kirk Cousins. I've been following Kirk Cousins since Michigan State. He's my guy. So let's go Kirk Cousins, Kirko Chains. No four interceptions. Let's reverse that. Four touchdowns, no picks this week. How about
Oh, yeah.
that? um, 4-8 Saints at the 2-10 Giants. Giants on a seven-game losing streak. Things are not going well in New York. Drew Lock expected to start. The Giants have the worst scoring offense in football. The Saints, things aren't going great for the Saints either. Taysom Hill out for the season with a torn ACL. How do you see this one going? This one, I don't know.
I'm glad it's a tough one to call, but I just think the
Yeah,
Saints will have enough offense just to win this game.
yeah.
I think New York has a really good defense, but I think the Saints just have enough overall to have a chance to win this game.
I agree. It sucks. No Taysom Hill, but feed Alvin Kamara, and protect the
Yes.
football. They should be able to get it. So we'll agree on that one with the Saints in New York. 3-9 Panthers at the 10-2 Eagles. Philly on an 8-game winning streak, and they look like the hottest team in football right now. And Saquon Barkley, I couldn't be happier for Saquon Barkley. On pace for career numbers. Who would have thought?
No, I would have. He's that talented. He always has
Yeah.
been. And so, it's something when you play for people who give you energy and create an environment for you to be the best you can be. And so that's what's happening in Philadelphia. And I think he's grateful for it. I think the football team is too. And I think everything's happening the way it's supposed to happen. But I think Philly wins this game running away.
I do too. Not only offensively, but defensively. They're just hitting on all cylinders. Jalen Carter has been an
Yes.
absolute monster.
Yes.
Um, those rookie corners, Cooper DeJean, and
Hmm.
who's the other one? I'm drawing a blank on his
Me,
name, but
me too.
Quinion Mitchell, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the Eagles win that one. And I'm just so happy for the running back position,
Right.
with Josh Jacobs went crazy last night with 3 touchdowns. Derrick
Yep.
Henry, Saquon, and a lot of these running backs used to be going up against like 8-man boxes, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
now with better teams, better lines, better quarterbacks next to them, you can't just play the running back anymore.
Can't play like that.
Yeah. So we agree on that one. Eagles at home. Um, 3-9 Browns at the 9-3 Steelers. Cleveland trying to sweep the Steelers. Both Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson coming off of 400-yard passing games. Any shot the Browns pull off the sweep in Pittsburgh?
No. I think the Browns don't pull off the sweep. I think Pittsburgh wins, and I think Russell Wilson shows he's still one of the better quarterbacks in the National Football League.
Man, he looked great last week.
Yes,
He
he
was
did.
throwing
He's
dimes.
throwing dimes.
I
Yes.
think I think if they get the right setup going into the playoffs and are healthy, that team
Hmm.
could be a serious contender in the AFC.
You just said it. I just think anybody who gives, again, just watching after the game, the Russell Wilson, Mike Tomlin relationship,
Yeah,
it just, these players need and want somebody to believe in them. And obviously, Mike has shown he believes in Russell, and Russell's paying him twofold by the way he's playing.
absolutely. And that um, AFC North Hard Knocks episode
Hmm.
1 was awesome, and you got to
Yes.
see Mike Tomlin behind the scenes. It was really
Yeah.
cool.
Yep.
Um, let's go 2-10 Raiders at the 6-6 Bucks. Vegas on an 8-game losing streak. Tampa Bay on a 2-game winning streak. And Hugh, it looked like the Falcons were going to run away with the NFC South, but here comes Tampa Bay. They get Mike Evans back. Bucky Irving, their rookie, is looking good.
Hmm.
How about Tampa Bay? They could steal that division.
They could. So I think again, they're in it. They just
Yeah.
need to win games like this. So I think they keep the Raiders on a 9-game losing streak, even though I think the Raiders are starting to play better.
Hmm.
They're playing better offensively. They play really well defensively against Kansas City. It's just those things at the end of the game. They just got to figure those out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, the Raiders could hang around in this game, but I think Tampa Bay finds a way
Yes.
and gets a big win. 2-10 Jags at the 3-9 Titans. And real quick, I gotta talk to you about this, Hugh. It has been a big topic all week. The hit on Trevor Lawrence, right?
Hmm.
And Tom Brady talked about it. Richard Sherman, Joe Thomas, a bunch of different people weighed in on this. And I thought that Trevor Lawrence slid late on the play, and it was at the first down line. Now, you never want to see that type of a hit, but guys like Patrick Mahomes and some of these other quarterbacks are opening the door for this stuff with like the fake slide and the tippy toeing on the sideline. How
Yeah.
do you think is the best way to clean some of this up?
No, there's no doubt. I mean, we hate to see those kind of things in the game, right? I mean, we
Yeah.
don't want to see anybody get hurt. That's not what anybody wants to see, but it happens. These things are happening in real time, split second. Guy might go late. Guy puts his head down, and obviously he's got to do everything he can to protect the quarterback. But it happens. And the guy has been fined for it, suspended for it, I should say. you know, that's part of it. That's what comes
Yeah.
with it. But at the same time, I think, we all have to understand these things do happen, and
Yeah.
it's not, I don't think the guy was truly trying to injure
Me
Trevor
either.
Lawrence, but at the
Yeah.
same time, the look of it looks so violent, and what happened afterwards, I think people don't understand that these things are boom, boom. It happens so fast that sometimes you cannot miss it. It is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, in my opinion, if he had slid like 2 yards earlier, there wouldn't have been a hit because it happened at the first down line, I think is why
Right.
it happened. And we talked with John Abraham, and he was like, "We're gonna have to start having quarterbacks wave a
Right.
fair catch and then slide."
Have a white flag before you go
Yeah,
down.
but hopefully they can get this figured out because we want to see fair, competitive balance on both sides
Yes.
of the ball. And one
Yes.
of the big things that Tom Brady said is like, we need to go back to teaching quarterbacks to protect themselves and
Absolutely.
not putting all the onus on the defensive player to protect the offensive player.
Yeah. So you got to dive out aggressively, I believe. The
Yeah.
sliding bleeds into some of these hits that we're talking about.
Yes. Yep. And Kyler Murray is one of those guys that slides so well. He gets
Hmm.
down quick and early.
Yes.
Yeah. Um. So again, with this game, two bad teams. Jacksonville on a 5-game losing streak. Mac Jones against Will Levis. I think the Titans get this one at home. Do you agree?
I do too. I think the Titans just, they have some talent and they're going to find a way to win it at home.
Yeah, agree. Let's go 7-5 Seahawks at the 6-6 Cardinals. A big game in the NFC West. Seahawks on a 3-game winning streak. Cardinals a 2-game losing streak. Big game. The Seahawks could be without DK Metcalf and Kenneth Walker. A big opportunity for Arizona to get this win. Do you think they can get it done at home?
They have to. I've been
Yeah.
riding with the Cardinals all year. I think they'll win at home. I think it's a big, big game for them. If they can't win this one, they don't deserve to stay in the race, for the conference and for the playoffs. So this is a big game for them.
Yeah, agree. And I think if DK and Kenneth Walker are out, I got to go Cardinals.
Hmm.
And we've been talking about it all year. Division rivalries, they're so hard
Never
fought.
know.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I think the Cardinals find a way, but it should be a great game on Sunday. 10-2 Bills at the 6-6 Rams. Buffalo as hot as anybody in the NFL on a 7-game winning streak. They're expected to be getting rookie Keon Coleman back and Dalton Kincaid back as well. In LA, a big game for the Rams in a very competitive division. I think the Bills get the win, though. They're just so red hot right now, and Josh Allen is an MVP candidate.
They're talented. They're
Yeah.
another one of those very talented teams. I think they get the win, as you said, and they get it done.
Yep. Another running back that's really opened up that offense, James Cook, has been great
Hmm.
for that team.
He's talented now. He is
Yeah.
really, really a good player. I didn't know he was that good. He's a little bit better than his brother at doing certain things. So it's
Yeah.
interesting.
When he came in, he was just Dalvin's little bro, but now
Yeah.
he's the
He's a
guy.
star now. Yes.
um, 4-8 Bears at the 5-7 49ers. Two teams struggling. Bears on a 6-game losing streak. Niners on a 3-game losing streak. Bears OC Thomas Brown takes over as the interim head coach. Niners lost both running backs Christian McCaffrey and Jordan Mason last
Hmm.
week. So the rookie Isaac Guerrero is going to get a lot of action in this game. And a big return safety Talanoa Hufanga returning for the 49ers. They're at home. They're desperate. I think they find a way to beat a bad Bears team right now.
Oh, no doubt. I think they're going to make it tough for the quarterback this week. They do really well versus rookie quarterbacks, so they're going to do everything they can to make life miserable for Caleb, and I think they'll succeed in doing that.
And that no one's running away with the NFC West, especially if the Cardinals win. The
Right.
Niners aren't buried. A lot of people are trying to bury the 49ers. They're not done
Hmm.
yet, especially if
Mm-mm.
they win this.
Not yet.
Yeah, they need to get healthy, but they're still talented for sure. I can't wait for this matchup. Sunday Night Football. You know how I feel about the Chargers in Arrowhead against the Chiefs. Big matchup. Kansas City's trying to sweep the Chargers, but Kansas City's also kind of struggled against Denver, Carolina, Vegas in recent weeks. In comes the number one scoring defense. They just forced Kirk Cousins into 4 picks. Any chance the Chargers go into Arrowhead and get a big win?
No. Patrick's gonna make this right. They're gonna play better on offense. I think they're gonna find a way to win this game. And then after this, I think there's gonna be some big decisions on how they play these guys the rest of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going all in on my Chargers. Let's go. Let's get a big win. Go into Arrowhead, and I don't want to see any, screenshots of Taylor Swift. I want to see all Chargers, and we'll see if they can get it done. The Chargers are getting there. They're not quite there, and
Right.
you brought up a good point early in the year about how they need to add some talent on the receiving core, some more
Yeah.
offensive weapons. They lost J.K. Dobbins as well,
Hmm.
but they're building something pretty quickly as well.
No, they are. I mean, again, the guy's a proven winner. They have a great front office, good young quarterback. So they got a lot of the ingredients that you need. They just got to add some pieces to what they have.
And a really interesting stat last week, Justin Herbert now has 10 straight games without throwing an interception.
Hmm. That's really good.
Yeah. So we'll see. That's going to be a great game on Sunday Night Football. And then the Monday Night Football game, two teams that are kind of struggling, but honestly, I think it's a great game. I'm looking forward to this matchup. The 4-8 Bengals at the 5-7 Cowboys. Cowboys on a 2-game winning streak, and Cooper Rush has a winning record as a starting quarterback. He's trying to get the Cowboys to the 3rd straight win. Logan Wilson out for the season. Orlando Brown doubtful for Cincinnati. I'm going to go Cowboys. If the defense can keep the Bengals from throwing up 30 plus, they'll give themselves a shot. If they don't, I don't know if they can keep pace. But I'm going to trust in Micah Parsons and that Cowboy defense and Mike Zimmer. What do you think?
Who day? Here comes the Bengals. I think the Bengals are going to get it done. It's a big, big game for the Bengals
Yeah,
because they still have a little outside chance, but they have to run the table, and I think they
yeah,
know it, and they have the potential to do that. So we'll
yeah.
see what happens on Monday night.
Yeah, and I've been shocked by the Bengals defense struggling this year. Lou
Struggling.
Anarumo is a great coordinator usually, and
Mhm.
I don't know, they let go Jesse Bates and DJ Reader and some of these guys, and I think that's going back to bite them. Did you see on Hard Knocks, Joe Burrow was talking about he bought the Batmobile?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I can't wait to see him show up to a game in that. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about Cooper Rush? I mean, he's winning games. He's like 7-3 as a starter.
No, he is. I mean, again, he's been around. He's seen some good football. He's seen some bad football. So it
Yeah,
just goes to show you those guys who really get to sit behind good players, boy, they have a chance to play well when they're asked to play.
yeah. Enrico Dowdle with kind of a breakout game on Thanksgiving as well. So
Hmm.
we'll see if the Cowboys can step up and get a big win. But always great to have you on, Hugh. Can't wait for another great week of football, and can't wait to talk to you again.
Let's go, buddy. Thank you. Looking forward
Yeah,
to it.
let's catch Amanda in these picks.
That's
She's
right.
not that good, is
We're
she?
gonna have to nail her down.
Absolutely. Well,
Yes.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Tell us your picks, and have a great week, guys. Peace out.